Hello folks, this is Sullla here, giving you another commentary for League of Legends. I'm going to try to start to do something different here, and what I'm going to try to do is a new series where I focus on spectating some of the games from different pro players. So I happened to notice today that TheRainMan was streaming, so what I'm going to try to do is watch this match and watch it in spectator mode and just see what happens, focusing on top lane. We're going to try to watch TheRainMan playing as Olaf here, presumably against Malphite. Well, either Malphite or Warwick. I'm not exactly sure which one of them is going to go to top lane, but we'll find out here. Anyway, you might be asking the question, well, how can you spectate players? How can you just spectate anyone? Because obviously I do not have TheRainMan on my friends list. Well, there's a new program that someone has written for League of Legends that allows you to spectate anyone. It's actually called Spectate Anyone. So I will put the link to how you can run that in the description underneath this video, and you guys can feel free to check it out. I've checked it out. It does work fine. It's a little bit ghetto in terms of how it works. You actually have to type things in sort of like a DOS prompt, but it does work, and you can actually spectate anyone on the client as long as you have an account. In fact, I will probably try to sign up for an EU account just so I can spectate some of the pro European players, because currently you do have to have an account for each server in order to use it. So anyway, I'm going to try this out, see how it works. I actually think that this is something that Riot should implement themselves. There's really no reason why you shouldn't be able to just spectate anyone you want on the client if you as long as you, I mean, they already let you look at everybody's profiles online. You can, I don't know if everybody knows this, but you can look at anyone's profile. You can look at what runes, what masteries the pro players use. You can see all that. You can see all their stats on their profiles. But the one thing that you can't do is right now you have to have them on your friends list to spectate, and this program just allows you to type in the name of the player you want to spectate. So if you want to, you can watch the pro players. And again, I really hope that that's something that Riot will add into the client so that you have the ability to watch the pros if you want to. Right now, you sort of either have to watch them on stream or you have to get lucky and see them pop up in the featured matches. But, that's not really something that's reliable, not really something you can count on. Anyway, in this game, we have Olaf, it looks like we have Olaf top, we have Heimerdinger mid, and then we have Janna Vayne in bottom lane. Janna Vayne is not a pairing that I'm a big fan of, but it looks like that's what they've got here. And then the Eve jungles. This is going to be very amusing, very interesting to see. On the other side, we have, I'm still not sure who is the support in this lane. It's probably Malphite, just because support, yeah, it's Malphite's playing support. I have seen support Malphite. I don't think it's any good, but you will see it from time to time. So it's going to be Warwick in top lane, Master Yi jungle, Carthus mid, and Ashe Malphite in bottom lane, as you see some words going down. But anyway, I'm going to try to keep the focus on top lane. Like I said, I'm going to try to feature TheRainMan in this video. We'll see if he has a good game or not. If he has a terrible game, then you probably won't see this because I just won't post the video. I'll just delete the recording. So we'll see. But in any case, it should be interesting. Just because we have some people playing well, what can only be called troll champions in this video. We've got the Eve in the jungle. We've got the support Malphite thing, and I know that someone will say in the comments that it's actually really good, but it isn't. One of the things that you have to keep in mind is it's not just about it's not just about can a champion play a role, but could someone else play that role better, is sort of the thing. And it's like, can Malphite be a support? Sure, but could you pick a better support? Also sure. Anyway, so let's watch what's going on in top lane. TheRainMan is going to play Olaf in this lane. I haven't done a lot with Olaf. I think I did one Olaf video a long time ago, and that was, like I said, quite a while ago. So Olaf is a champion. Bruiser, very popular in top lane, has been played a lot in competitive play. He's probably the most notable Olaf players right now are Dyrus likes to play him in top lane for solo mid, and Nintendude X likes to jungle Olaf for Team Dynamic, and they both played some of that at the recent tournament, at the MLG tournament in Anaheim. One of the reasons why I didn't put up any videos this last week is because I was watching a lot of League of Legends, not playing it, so I wasn't creating videos, I was watching the pros play, and I was really burnt out from watching like 20 hours of League of Legends over the weekend. Anyway, up here in top lane, TheRainMan is clearly winning the matchup so far. Is he going to go in for the kill right now? He does have Ignite, chooses not to dive that tower. The Warwick player, Kilowatt, just barely managing to get back. So we'll see. Let's see what happens with this Master Yi gank. Yi gank coming in. He does have double buff. We'll see. TheRainMan does have Ghost up here in top lane. And let's see where he's put his points. He's maxing Reckless Swing. That is fairly common. Although I've also seen the Undertow build maxed first. It really depends on which way they choose to go. Master Yi apparently chose not to go for the gank. I'm a little bit surprised, maybe because Warwick was just so low right there. And let's see, TheRainMan is hanging out up here. Who put this word down? I don't know if, I wonder who put that word. Maybe Warwick started with a word. I wasn't paying close enough attention. Anyway, though, let me highlight some of the skills for Olaf, people who don't know what he does, as we actually have the Evelyn gank in bottom lane scoring first blood, although Ashe then gets a kill on Vayne. Just see what's going on down there. Yeah, that fight's over. So 1 for 1, Eve gets first blood, but Vayne dies in bottom lane. Alright, so Olaf, again, I'll highlight his passive here, gets extra attack speed as he loses health, so he can be very difficult to kill when he gets close to death. His Q is right there. It's his undertow. It's an axe toss that slows. If he picks up the axe, the cooldown is reduced. So Rainman clearly winning that trade right there. Here it is. I'll highlight it. Throws an axe, deals physical damage, and slows them. If he picks up the axe, the ability's cooldown is greatly reduced. So one of the more common Olaf builds is you rely on getting a lot of cooldown reduction. So basically, if you get like 20 or 30% cooldown reduction and you max the undertow, the cooldown of the skill drops so low that basically the instant you pick up the axe, you can toss it again. And then it's based on harassing and slowing with that axe toss. I don't think that's the build that Rainman's going here, though. The other very common build is you max this, Reckless Swing, costs health. Olaf deals damage to his target, but deals more true damage. Deals damage to himself, but deals more true damage to his target. Right there, there's the true damage. Exhaust coming out. Here's the Ghost to counter that. Master Yi does have red. Is he going to have enough damage to finish this one off? And it looks like no, they're not quite going to have enough damage to finish that off. So Rainman used his Ghost right there, is able to escape from this particular gank. The Blood Scent is on him right now. This is kind of an interesting lane because both Olaf and Warwick have quite a bit of sustain in lane. Olaf gets his sustain through the use of his other skill, his Vicious Strikes, his W. This is usually the skill that Olaf players max last. 6 seconds, his attack damage is increased. And he gains Lifesteal and Spell Vamp. The Spell Vamp is usually not that big of a deal because Olaf deals mostly physical damage, but there are some ways that that can come into play if you get like a Gunblade or something. Anyway, here comes the Eve Stealth Gank. There it is. There's the slow flash out from Warwick, and he's going to escape, but he is quite low. Master Yi going to hang out in the vicinity as well in order to prevent a dive underneath the tower. Looks like they're going to have to back out. There is a fight going on in bottom lane as well. Saw that Janna got very low. Didn't really see how that got started. Anyway, Eve is still lurking here. There comes the dive. There's the Reckless Swing. There is the Ignite. Is this going to be enough damage to finish him off? Yes. Last tick of Ignite gets the kill. So nicely played by the Rainman there. Reckless Swing and plus Ignite. Enough damage to get the kill on to Warwick. So Rainman is pretty far ahead in top lane. He has double the CS of Warwick. He has 33 minion kills to 17, so he's quite a bit ahead. And what he's going to do here now is what all good players do. Once you get the kill, you push the minions to the tower. So if you notice, all these minions are going to hit the tower. They'll be killed by the tower. Master Yi is sitting here so he can pick up this golden experience, but this is not going to go to Warwick, so he's going to be further behind. Again, it's sort of a basic thing, but I know not a lot of new players are aware of this. You push the tower after you kill someone in lane because that means that they're going to miss that golden experience. Now Master Yi, again, like I said, doing the right thing. He's up here in lane. He's making sure he gets this golden experience. Well, he would if he was last hitting a little bit better. There we go, gets that last one. But Warwick's not getting it. So the actual laning matchup is further behind right now. Warwick's still on only 17 minion kills. He's gone for the Doran's Ring. I have seen this on the Lanewick build. I don't think it's the best way to go necessarily, but it does make your Qs hit a little bit harder. The downside is it does put you further behind in lane. What Warwick really needs to do is he needs to get a Glacial Shroud into a Frozen Heart. He needs to get that quite badly because most of Olaf's damage is physical. Rainman has gone, looks like he's going for the double gold per 10 build. Philosopher's Stone, I'm assuming this is going to become a Heart of Gold. So basically this is the build that says, I'm winning my lane, I'm not intimidated at all by the matchup here, and I'm just going to go for passive gold benefits, so I will be further ahead in the long run. So it looks like that's where we're going here. We can even check the global gold because this is, of course, spectator mode. 9.2 to 8.8, pretty close overall. However, top lane not nearly as close. 2,200 gold here to 1,600. That's a 600 gold lead, and that is very substantial for this early in the game. That's a pretty big lead. Also note that Rainman's using his Reckless Swing in order to last hit creeps when he can't get the auto attack. He missed that up one there, but he's doing a pretty nice job of farming this lane overall. And you can see Warwick just doesn't really want to get that close. Rainman's a full level ahead right now, 7 to 6. That's also a big deal. And he is indeed maxing the Reckless Swing. So again, this is a very common Olaf build. You want to max the Reckless Swing because it deals true damage. It makes it easy for you to outtrade your opponent in lane, as long as you have some kind of sustain. And again, the sustain comes from his W, which gives the lifesteal, and also to a certain extent the health regen on that Philosopher's Stone. So that's what's going on in this top lane. Again, Rainman Olaf clearly ahead in lane so far. He's brought the ward. Good decision to put that down there. Again, a little bit safety from those Master Yi ganks. Master Yi's been top several times. Right there, that's the power of Olaf in lane. Look how much damage that Reckless Swing deals. Right now, he has 4 points in the skill, deals 280 health. And down there, Carthus is going to ult into bottom lane to get 1 kill and an exchange of a kill right there. Vayne, a little too greedy. Vayne could have just backed out of that fight, and Eve would have finished that off. So a 2-for-1 in favor of the red team right there. And there is the power of Carthus. Carthus was played a ton at MLG this weekend. Reginald on solo mid was playing him almost non-stop. Again, the ability to ult and get kills elsewhere on the map. Anyway, here we have the gank coming in. Rainman going man mode here, has popped his ult. He is going to get the kill, but he will die in the process right there. Used his ghost, used his ultimate, ran in there, got the kill, but it becomes a 1-for-1 trade, so probably not worth it there in the end. I ended up taking a lot of damage, and like I said, that probably wasn't worth it in the long run. In that particular exchange. Would have, of course, been worth it if you can get the kill and get out. Let's see what's going on in other lanes. Let's see. Heimerdinger is quite a bit behind Carthus. And Carthus, look at this. The triple gold per 10. You see that a lot more often right now. It's become very popular in high elo play for the AP mids to just stack lots of gold per 10s if they're ahead in lane. So Carthus is going to be really far ahead of Heimerdinger with all that passive gold coming in. He's 1,000 gold ahead of Heimerdinger, so he is in quite good shape. In bottom lane, Vayne is 0-2, whereas Ashe is 2-2. Ashe also has more farm in lane. Ashe is 30 minion kills ahead. So aside from top lane, the red team is in really good shape right now. They also do not have Evelynn on their team, so that is just inherently going to be to their advantage later on, the fact that they do not have Eve, who is undoubtedly the weakest champion in League of Legends, and with good riddance. I played the game when Eve was not the weakest champion, and she is not a fun champion, just based on her extremely long stealth mechanic. Anyway, though, top lane's going to have to carry this lane. There is the Heart of Gold, double gold per 10, and then there's the Vampiric Scepter for sustain. So Warwick has really been forced out of this lane. If you notice, Warwick is just not laning, basically. Warwick is so far behind, he doesn't even feel like he can lane right now. So, again, a mechanic on sort of controlling the lane. Rainman is trying to hold the lane back by his tower. Hold the creep wave here so Warwick cannot come and farm this. Notice how many of the blue creeps are dying here, especially due to this cannon minion. Warwick he can't farm, he can't get gold, he can't get experience. He's being completely and utterly denied up here in top lane. This is sort of ideal top lane play. You're not always going to be able to do this, but if you can do this, it's really, really good. There's the Undertow to farm that creep. Really nice farming, as you'd expect from a former pro player down here. So what can Warwick do? All he can do is go to other lanes and try to make plays. So you see Warwick coming down here, but he has been spotted. The pings are coming out. It has been warded, so that's going to be the cue to get back here. So again, this is the worst situation to be in. Warwick is completely denied. He's continuing to fall further and further behind. All he can do is really try to steal the jungle to get a few minion kills, but the big wraith there had actually already been taken by Eve. And it looks like we have a fight going on down here in bottom. Here comes the Eve gank. However, Master Yi is here. I'm not sure if they're aware of it. Heimer is coming down to turn this into a 5-on-4. Malphite ults in. Is Ashe going to be able to, or Vayne is going to go down to that Carthus ult. She will pick up 1 kill right there. Carthus going to ult in. Carthus is coming into the fight. They probably need to stop chasing this because Carthus is entering the fight. So let's see if Janna can manage to get out. There's the Wall of Pain for the slow. Can Malphite get the slow? Yes. And then that Lay Waste finishes it off. Some nice Carthus play coming in right here. So yes, this game really not in such great shape. Oh, look at this. Eve going in for the kill on Ashe. Going to get it. And there's the double kill. Heimerdinger finishing it off. There is the irritation of Eve. Heimer, though, in a lot of trouble. He will fall right here. Let's see. Can Eve pick up this kill on Carthus? Eve has no mana left, so I'm going to say no, probably not. Although Carthus is now out of mana as well. Eve has gone into stealth. Let's see. Going to pick this fight. There is the engage. Eve is going to have to dodge these Lay Wastes. There she is, kicking in her high heels. Can she finish off this kill? Carthus is very low. They both have no mana, and there it is. Shut down. Carthus gets mana back as he dies, and Eve is, in fact, going to pick this one up. Goes into stealth, and that's going to be a clean getaway for Eve. No oracles on the enemy team just yet. So there we go. We actually have a fight going on in top lane here as well. Rainman is very low. Didn't see how this fight got initially exchanged. Does not have his ghost or his ignite up, so it looks like he went for this kill. I think he will get the kill on Warwick here if he can get off a reckless strike with his on his E right there. Let's see. This is very close. What is it? Reckless swing, not reckless strike. Anyway, looks like they're going to back off there. So Warwick is a long way behind. He was able to survive that, though. Does Warwick have his ult up? He does not. He also used his ult there. I'm a little surprised that Warwick has exhaust. This is a little bit unusual. Usually Warwick players, people who play Warwick in top, take ignite, not exhaust. So let's see. How is Warwick doing? Well, he's gone for a gold per 10 as well to try to help him out here, even though he's behind in lane. It can be a good choice because it works out in the sense that you are able to get some passive gold coming in. The downside is it puts you even further behind on whatever you're building. So Warwick is still not close to a Glacial Shroud. So he is, like I said, the Heart of Gold does give him some passive gold coming in, but it puts him further behind whatever items he's trying to get. And of course, Rainman has double gold per 10, so it's not even going to catch him up to Olaf in top lane. This top lane is basically lost. Warwick is just too far behind right now. There is a Wriggles now on Rainman's Olaf, so he has all the sustain he could ever want up here in top lane. He also has 106 minion kills to 60, so he is a long way ahead. Master Yi did go actually in and steal the blue buff away from Heimer, which is a really big deal because Heimer is blue dependent. Here we have another Eve stealth gank coming in bottom lane. There's the exhaust. Malphite's going to ult in, but I don't think it's going to be enough. There is the kill onto Ashe. Now they're chasing after Malphite. Malphite's going to flash away. Exhaust coming in. I do not think they should chase after this, not with Carthus in the game. And there they're going to back out. Indeed, here comes Carthus right here. But Carthus not in great shape right there. Gets knocked up in the air by Janna. I don't think they have quite the damage to finish this one off. We'll see if they choose to dive this. We get some crazy dives coming in here. There is the Carthus ult. Is anyone low enough? And that is why you don't dive towers against Carthus. And here comes Master Yi in to kill everybody. He does have double buff. He just needs to get off that Alpha Strike. A nice condemn from Vayne. Is it going to be enough? Oh, right behind the action, Eve goes in and kills Carthus, then dies in the Defile afterwards. So 1 for 1. Meanwhile, in top lane, Rainman has once again forced Warwick off of the tower right here. I'm trying to focus on top lane, but so much of the action is going on elsewhere. There is the sustain. Notice how low he was before. He uses his W to just get a little bit of extra sustain. That, along with Wriggles, allows him to lifesteal back here in lane. And again, Warwick just so far behind. Warwick is going to try to come back here to get these creeps, but that could be real trouble because Rainman does have his ultimate up, and Warwick, I don't think he can get out of this. There is the ult, but there's the counter ult from Olaf. And again, why Olaf is a counter to Warwick in top lane. Warwick uses his ult, the Infinite Duress, and then Rainman uses his own ult, Ragnarok. Again, acts as a free cleanse, removes all disables, and that's an easy kill to get once that happens. So there we go, the tower goes down, and this is just a clearly won top lane by Rainman. 3-1, 134 minion kills to Warwick, who is 63 minion kills, 0-2. So really nicely played in top lane, just completely dominated that matchup. The problem is their team is losing elsewhere on the map, so Rainman is going to have to try to carry his team from this point on and try to take over this game, because even though Eve, well, the only other person who's doing well is Eve is 6-1 on this game, somehow having a nice game. People apparently not used to playing against Eve, or just having trouble with these stealth ganks. And there we go, another kill in bottom lane. Same thing, this stealth gank even did have a pink ward there, but apparently it did not see Eve, or she was able to get into the brush ahead of it. So very interesting. Rambo X is having a really nice game here as Eve, and it's been quite effective, even with Eve as nerfed as she is. Anyway, we try to keep an eye on top lane. Master Yi is actually quite a bit stronger than Olaf right now. We'll see if Master Yi decides that he has to pop his ult in order to run out of this. There is the slow right there. Here comes Warwick as well, so it looks like they might be trying to bait this fight right here. There is a battle going on in top lane, but I'll keep the focus up, or in middle lane, excuse me. There was a kill right there with Carthus getting ganked by several members of the team right there. Now it looks like they're going to try to pincer this fight right here. There's the Janna Tornado, the Janna Slow. Master Yi can always pop his ult to just run out of that if he wants. And the Blood Scent is on the Eve. So once again, Rainman just going to go back to top lane, keep farming as a sign of, what players want to do. Good players usually just, you want to, keep farming as long as you can. Just continue to get up that creep score, get that CS up as high as possible. Gone now for a Phage. Again, a very useful item on Olaf. Phage into Frozen Mallet. The extra health just makes you tankier. And the Phage gives you, again, health, attack damage, and you get that chance to slow. Very useful. You get those Phage procs. If you pop Ghost and Ragnarok, and then you start getting Phage procs, or you have a Frozen Mallet, it's just impossible for the enemy team to run away from you. And that's Olaf's job in a team fight. You want to jump, you generally want to use your ult to break any kind of crowd control, and then be able to just jump on their carry and take them out of the fight. So on this team, that would be either Carthus or Ashe. And it looks like Carthus is the stronger, is probably the strongest person on their team right now. So this is not a fight that Warwick can win. The only thing that he can do is get assistance from Master Yi. There's the exhaust coming in. There is the ghost. Let's see if he's able to run out of here. Looks like Rainman's going to turn and try to get the kill onto Warwick. Not quite able to do so. Here is Eve, though, on the cleanup crew. And that should be a kill. Warwick is trying to sustain. Here comes the exhaust out right now. Exhaust really does a nice job of wrecking Olaf. There is Malphite's all jumping in. Why is Malphite up here? Eve has to be asking another exhaust. So that's 3 exhausts used in top lane in that particular little exchange. So a good exchange there for red team. 2 for 1 in their favor. They did have to use a lot of summoners in that particular exchange, but they did get what they wanted. Meanwhile, Vayne is getting what blue team wants right now, just getting a chance to free farm in bottom lane. Vayne is pretty far behind still on Ashe, but those kills have helped out Vayne quite a bit. Going for the Zeal. Still not sure what BF item Vayne is going to want here. Oh, wow. Tumbles out of the Ashe arrow. That is pretty interesting right there. Unfortunate miss there by Fluffy Panda. So not the greatest use of Ashe arrow. You won't be seeing highlight reels of that particular play, but Vayne is going to make it out of there. Anyway, let's see. Rainman's down here. I don't know when Dragon is going to be back up. I didn't see who took Dragon in the first fight as I was trying to focus on top lane. Not exactly sure. The game is pretty even right now. Pretty evenly balanced right now. So let's see. There is the Undertow. Does hit on Carthus. Not going to be followed up upon right now, though. Let's see what we have. We sort of have a lull in the action right now. Not a whole lot taking place. Eve has gone ahead and grabbed red buff once again, so Rambo is going to take that, and that will make him much, much scarier, and Eve with red buff is considerably more dangerous than one that doesn't have it, since, of course, every auto attack is slowing. Been an interesting game, I must say, with the Eve in the game. Anyway, Eve is hanging out around mid. The one thing you do have to remember is towers do reveal stealth champions. I think most people know that, but just in case you didn't. So Eve will be revealed if she goes next to a tower, and right now trying to sneak in. Let's see, that stealth is going to last for quite a while yet, and it looks like they're going to try to gank Rainman in top lane, but it is going to be counter-ganked because Eve is here. It actually looks like we're going to have a big team fight here, 4-on-4 once we get up here. So Rainman is going in after the Warwick right there, and here comes the rest of the team right now. Ragnarok has been popped, chasing after Warwick right now. Cannot be disabled right now, but Rainman is taking a lot of damage. Looks like he will fall to the damage done by Carthus. Carthus is just dealing so much damage right now. He's winning this team fight for the red team right there. So they're going to go, what is it, 2 for 1 in that particular fight there. Again, Carthus still even does have his ult up, although I don't think he can kill anyone with it. I don't think he has enough damage to finish off Heimer. But again, oh wow, look how low Warwick got there. Just barely managing to survive that fight. And Vayne is losing out in the matchup to Ashe down here in bottom lane because Ashe is just much, much further ahead. Has most of an infinity edge right there, while Vayne just is sitting on her Zeal. So again, these matchups not going too well for blue team right now. At the moment, they are going to need some kind of good team fight to turn this around and get back in this. Heimer does have his blue, though, and that's going to make it impossible to push mid so long as Heimerdinger has that blue buff. Really can't do anything as long as Heimer has blue. Alright, let's see. So Rainman has finished a Last Whisper right now. Let's see. How much armor is there on the enemy team? Not a whole lot. There's some armor on Malphite and Warwick. That's really about it. Still, Olaf's damage is almost entirely physical, so it's not a bad item to get on him. If there's anything Rainman should be building, he probably should get some more magic resistance. He really could use that against Carthus because Carthus and Warwick both deal mostly magic damage. Even Malphite, I know he's a support Malphite, but Malphite deals mostly magic damage too. So really could use some more MR on this build is the one thing. Rainman's Olaf deals a ton of damage, but he is not really tanky at all right now. Not really. 100 armor, 67 magic resist. He deals a lot of damage, but he also dies rather quickly. And the one thing about melee champs is you do need to be tankier since you have to get up close to deal your damage. So I would expect that from here on out this build is going to focus more on becoming tankier in order to avoid dying so easily. Anyway, wow, Carthus is quite low, so we may well see a dive coming in here. We have an Oracle coming in. I'm actually a little surprised we haven't seen an Oracle on Eve. You might not think that, but Oracle, very important to get on a stealth champion, just so you can see when other people have... see when other people have vision wards or when they have stealth. Now there's a kill on Vayne in bottom lane right now. There's a call to do Baron. I don't know if this is the best call. It is warded by the enemy team, and the ward, oh wow, and even worse, the ward just died. So blue team is going to think that they don't realize that they're here, even though they do. Anyway, so we have the arrow coming in. It is just barely going to miss. Rainman has popped his ghost. He has not popped his ult right now. There it goes, using the Ragnarok. Going to try to finish off this kill on Warwick. Not going to get it, though. And here comes Carthus, a nice Janna ult, in order to blow them back. There is the Warwick ult right there. It is going to finish it off 1-for-1, but who is going to deal with Carthus right now? Doesn't look like anyone is dealing with Carthus. So that is once again a 2-for-1 in favor of the red team. And again, the person who's really carrying this game is Carthus. He now has the Rod of Ages. He now has the Death Cap. If we look at the global gold, has much more gold than anyone else in this game right now. 10,700. Rainman is next closest, just under 9,000 right now. And the problem is, as the enemy team starts grabbing oracles, Eve is not really going to be that useful. So Rambo's effectiveness is going to drop as this game continues on, whereas Carthus is just going to get stronger and stronger the longer this continues. And of course, the problem with Carthus, if you kill him, it doesn't stop him from dealing his damage. He can still deal damage after you kill him. So between Carthus and Ashe, there's a very real problem with blue team right now. The fact that one's dealing physical damage, one's dealing magic damage, makes it very hard to itemize sort of against this particular team. So 3,000 gold lead for red team. Still a very even match overall, but it does feel like it's starting to snowball in favor of red team unless something happens that's going to shake up this match and flip it in the opposite direction. Anyway, it looks like Eve wants to go after Ashe right now, is pinging that right now. So let's see what happens. Janna is going to come in. I don't know if the two of them together deal enough damage. We'll find out. We'll see. There is the knockup coming in. Eve is dealing a lot of damage here. Can the rest of the team get here in time? Heimer going to finish it off. In comes Malphite. In comes Master Yi. Master Yi going to get that kill onto Janna, and this fight is still going pretty well. Master Yi does fall to those Heimer micro rockets. Olaf is dealing a ton of damage. Rainman is going to get a kill right there. However, Carthus is going to pick up a kill with his ult. It is a 3-for-2 in favor of blue team, so a good fight for them. Now let's see what they can get out of this. However, Carthus is full health, Malphite also full health, whereas pretty much everyone is a little bit damaged on blue team. Let's see what they can manage to get out of this. I would not try to pick this fight if I am Rainman, but he is going in anyway. Wants to get that kill onto Carthus, and that's why I said I would not pick that fight, because they just went 0-2 in that battle. So that was just not a good decision right there. Just too low on health. At full health, that would have been a great fight, but that really did not work right there. And that's going to put their team further behind as they lose this tower as well. Eve really looks like she wants to go in for this. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. We will see. Anyway, in comes Janna, and here we go. Going to try to go in and get the kill onto Carthus. The exhaust coming out, cutting the damage enormously, but it's just going to be a 1-for-1. Still probably worth it, just because Carthus was on a killing spree and gets the 400 gold. So that was probably worthwhile. Anyway, here we have a Baron call here, but Ashe is really taking a lot of damage. Not sure about this. Ashe is going to almost get finished off by those micro rockets right here. Anyway, Warwick coming in. Oh, the Warwick ult interrupted by Janna Tornado, but there is not another tornado. Wow, Heimer picking up the double kill right now, surviving for so long. Those little towers just dealing a ton of damage, so that is going to interrupt the Baron attempt. Not a good Baron attempt. Again, this is a solo queue game, solo queue ranked game around, I believe, around 2,000 elo. So you will see some teams not making the most coordinated of plays. And now blue team's going to take the attempt for Baron. And this is not a bad move for them. They do have their jungler up, whereas there's no smite right now on red team. So this is a risky play. In comes the teleport, though. Carthus coming in. I didn't even realize he had summoner teleport, and he is just going to do a lot of damage. This is going to get at least 2 kills, this Carthus ult. Double kill right there. So yes, the fight continuing over the Baron, back and forth over who is going to get this one. And just so many deaths on both sides. It's actually been a little bit of a sloppily played game, because you really should not be seeing this many kills. You know, you really should not be seeing, 47 kills in 28 minutes. It's usually a sign of a sort of lower level gameplay. But this one has just been a really sloppy game, just very disorganized, a lot of just kills everywhere, back and forth. Laning phase breaking down relatively easily. You could really say that Eve has just kind of mucked up this game in a lot of ways. Anyway, Eve is going to have to try to save this again. No oracles, no, you know, nothing here. Let's see who can get the smite steal on this Baron. Can Eve take it? No, not able to take it. It did go to red team. Now they are all mostly going to die here in the Baron pit. But again, Carthus just dealing so much damage. Carthus going to just kill everyone, even in his defile. So 3 for 2 in favor of red team, and they took Baron. And you can see the Carthus player saying, fight in Carthus defile. Exactly. You just can't stand in the defile. Carthus with death cap. Let's see, as Death Cap, Rod of Ages, and Void Staff, just dealing so much damage and really hard carrying this one. So, just so many deaths for everybody on every team. Malphite's the only one who's really avoided just dying over and over and over again. And now red team's opened up a really nice lead here in this particular matchup. So we'll see where it goes from there. Vayne still doesn't really have much damage. That's one of the real problems, that bottom lane has just been won so hard on the part of the red team. Vayne just sitting there, only damage item is a pickaxe, so still a long way away from Infinity Edge. I suppose could be going for Last Whisper, but just doesn't have that much damage again. Let's see, so Vayne 154 damage, Ashe 252. Now that does include Baron buff, but Ashe is presumably going to pick up another item here. Yeah, there's the Phantom Dancer, so Ashe is just really far ahead. Carthus now has picked up the Archangel Staff. So Carthus is sitting on almost 600 ability power. That is quite a lot right now. And again, he just has, if Carthus dies in these fights, it doesn't really affect him all that much. So it's going to be an uphill battle at this point for blue team. They need some kind of a mistake in order to get back in it. Eve has finished her Trinity Force, and for those who don't know, because you don't see Eve a lot, Trinity Force is really the key item onto Evelynn. It's always been like the item that gives her damage. So has finally finished that item, but again, Eve just doesn't scale very well into the late game because, I mean, what do you expect? It is Eve after all. So she's going to try to go stealth, and let's see, do they have any oracles here on the enemy team? I don't know if they do. Anyway, fight coming in on to Carthus right here, but Rainman a little too much man mode, not quite going to be able to finish that one off. Help coming in from the rest of the team, and that really didn't work, unfortunately. Needed at least a little bit of help from the rest of the team there, and it looks like they're starting to get pushed out of the game right now. Master Yi is an expert of split pushing. He can pop his ultimate and use his Wuju style. Vayne, though, coming in here, and Vayne does have red buff, so with red buff, Vayne has a decent chance of being able to win this fight. There is the Carthus ult, and Vayne is going to pick this up 1v1. That red buff helping out quite a bit. Meanwhile, we have a fight coming in here. Eve coming out of stealth, going in after Ashe. There's the cleanse. Micro rockets hitting on Ashe. There is the Ashe arrow, not enough. So going to get the shut down on that particular fight right there. And where was Carthus? Looks like Carthus was back at base. Looks like he was buying something back at base. So that seems to have been the issue right there. Not having... and poor Malphite saying, yes, even at 2,000 elo, this is indeed elo hell for some people. It certainly has been a very sloppily played game. Not really what you'd expect. You sort of expect that... you would see a little bit more organized gameplay, but that certainly has not been the case in this particular matchup here. Even though these are good players, there has not been much coordination in this solo queue game. Anyway, Vayne coming back to base. What is she going to get? Does she have enough for her Infinity Edge? We will find out in a moment. It does not look like she does. Meanwhile, Rainman is still farming top. He is quite strong, but he has died an awful lot of times. 7 deaths in 32 minutes is quite a bit. Now, everyone else has also been dying a lot, but has picked some fights that probably should not have been picked in this particular match. Anyway, Carthus is almost on a 6-item build. He's just got the Heart of Gold there. We will find out what his last item is. He really does not have any survivability whatsoever, so perhaps he will go for something along those lines. We'll see. Anyway, Ignite coming out onto Warwick. Looks like Rainman was picking a fight there, but was not able to finish it off because Master Yi came in and assisted. So we'll see where we go from here in this particular one. Again, the game kind of stalled out right now. We have a lull in the action. Red team is definitely ahead in this matchup, ahead by about 7,000 global gold. Really waiting for another Baron fight to come up again. That will be likely another major factor in who ends up winning this match. Whoever can take the next Baron. Red team took the last one, and it definitely put them further ahead. But they really haven't made that much progress in terms of pushing the enemy team's base. Only 3 towers down thus far. So they're going to have to, break the enemy team, get through the defenses in order to start taking down towers if they're going to be able to finish off this particular match. and we'll see if they're able to do that. So far, it has not. So far, they haven't really been able to do that. So Rainman is split pushing top. We'll see if the rest of the team can hold. With Heimer having blue, they should be able to do a pretty decent job of holding these towers. We will see though. Malphite doing a nice job of zoning along with Carthus wall. So yeah, Carthus wall along with Malphite and the threat of his ult right there, enough to force them off the tower. Rainman going to have to come back. Eve coming in from behind. I'm still surprised that no one has an Oracle, even with as many times as people have died. Malphite, as the support, Malphite almost certainly should have gotten an Oracle earlier. Oh, and look at this. Master Yi has been spotted here. As words go down, it looks like we're going to have another big 5v5 team fight. Here comes Malphite. That is a great ult into an Ash Arrow, and Carthus coming in. I don't see any real way that blue team's going to be able to win this. Just too good of an initiation. Here comes the Carthus ult, and that is going to pick up quite a few kills right there. So 3 for 1 in favor of the red team right there. More exhaust coming out. Rainman, Mudkips trying to get away. That's another kill. And Warwick, though, taking that tower aggro. Is he going to fall to that ignite? No, he's going to fall to the tower. And then Ash falls to the double turrets. Although they do pick up an ace in the process. So a 5 for 3 ace right there. And with Master Yi sitting here, he should be able to take down this tower without any real problem. Does have the Phantom Dancer. Let's see, he did use his ultimate in that last fight, but it's already almost off cooldown. So they shouldn't have any trouble getting the tower and the inhib. And it looks like this one is, you know, maybe at the beginning of the end here right now. I feel like Carthus has just snowballed too far out in front at this point. He just deals too much damage for them to win these team fights. Any fight that gets initiated like that cannot be won by blue team. A really good Malphite ult into the Ash Arrow, and then Carthus leaps in alongside Master Yi, and you're just not going to win the fight when you get initiated on like that. So even though Warwick has really had a bad game, has been, you know, pretty useless for their team, the rest of the team is just, you know, winning this matchup. So in any case, red team is in really good shape, and Baron is about to spawn. There it is. Spawns just as I say it. It is being pinged. Red team really should look to force a fight over by Baron. They don't even need to take Baron. They just need to put pressure on Baron so that the blue team, you know, has these super minions pushing into their base. So both teams have spotted it. Ping's coming out. We should see a fight. Carthus grabbing his blue. Carthus has 750 ability power. So, I mean, look at the damage. His ult deals, what, 1,100 damage to everyone on the team? And, of course, that's not counting magic resist, but that is a lot of damage. And one thing about Carthus is he does Baron really fast here. So let's watch how fast the Baron goes down. Look at how fast this Baron is dying between Master Yi and Carthus and Ash as well. They just need to finish off this Baron. There it is. It does go down. Right now, Malphite once again catching 2 people, and this looks like this is going to be the end of the game right there. So, yeah, Eve does get the kill on Carthus, but Baron was taken, and 3 members of the team go down. There is the ultimate. Can Warwick manage to run down Janna? Looks like he will be able to, and that should be game right now. Right now, we have a 1v1 fight between Rainman and Master Yi. He is going to win this fight, so Rainman's had a pretty good game here, but unfortunately, every other lane really has lost, unfortunately, and they can just tank the Nexus turrets. Really don't even need to. Here comes the super creeps in order to take this. So it looks like that's going to be the end of this particular match, and it's going to be a win for the red team. So really, Carthus, I'd have to say MVP Carthus in this particular game. Carthus less pick carry OP, so nicely played. Anyway, hope that you guys like this. Again, I probably didn't get quite as much of a chance to focus on top lane as I would have liked. There's the global gold totals, if you guys are curious. Would have liked to have focused a little bit more on top lane, I think, in this particular match, but it was a pretty interesting game, very sloppily played, but interesting nonetheless. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. Again, like I said, I'll have the link to the Spectate Anyone client underneath this. So let me know if you guys think this is interesting. I'll try to do a regular series, try to focus on some of the pro players, and, you know, use the opportunity to spectate people. So once again, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this. And I'll see you guys again later. Take care.